Sarah didn't believe in ghosts. That was why she had agreed to spend a night in the old abandoned house at the edge of the woods. A bet with her friends? It's just an empty, rotten place, she had thought. But when the door closed behind her, the sound echoed too loudly, as if the walls were alive and had been holding their breath. Inside, it smelled of damp wood and mold. The silence was so dense it felt like a sound, and every step creaked like a lament. Sarah turned on her flashlight, illuminating a narrow hallway full of closed doors. Above one of them, rusty and crooked, was a sign that read, "Do not enter." Naturally, she went in. The room was empty, except for a large cracked mirror. On the glass were handprints, as if someone had pressed them from the inside. Sarah brought the flashlight closer to the mirror, and her reflection appeared, flickering, but not completely. The figure reflected was taller. It smiled. She did not. Sarah backed away, holding her breath. "You're not alone," whispered a voice. But it wasn't coming from the room. It was inside the mirror. The reflection raised a hand and knocked 3 times on the glass, as if it were a door waiting to be opened. From the rest of the house, other hands began knocking, behind the hallway doors, beneath the floorboards, inside the walls. Each knock was louder, closer. "Let us out," murmured a chorus of voices. The mirror shattered completely, and a skeletal hand reached toward her. Sarah tried to run, but the door she had come through was now open, and behind it there was no forest, no night. Only darkness, a darkness thick and alive. The voices smiled. "Now you stay here too." The house fell silent. The mirror repaired itself, and in the reflection only Sarah remained, smiling. Sarah smiled inside the mirror. It wasn't a human smile. It was rigid, as if carved into flesh. And yet her eyes, or whatever had replaced them, were filled with a fierce euphoria, as if she had finally found home. On the other side of the glass, outside the mirror, Sarah's real body remained still, paralyzed. She tried to scream, but her voice wouldn't obey. It was as if her shadow had been sewn to the floor. The reflection took a step forward, one, then another, and as if the mirror were liquid, it passed through without a sound, like a fish breaking the surface of water. The copy that emerged from the glass no longer looked like a hesitant reflection. Now it was real. The skin seemed too tight on the bones, the eyes a little too shiny, as if someone had polished them from the inside. Every movement was slow, deliberate, predatory. "It's my turn now," whispered the copy with a perfect voice, identical to hers but hollow like an echo. The door opened onto the forest. The copy walked out. The real Sarah remained. The room changed. The floor filled with mirrors, as if the glass were growing out of the wood. Each mirror showed a different version of her, some crying, some laughing, one screaming with a mouth too wide, full of teeth that shouldn't have been there. "Now we begin," said one of the voices. The copy walked through the forest, breathing in the icy night air. Every step was more confident, more human, or rather, more convincing. In the silence, a smile spread across its face, a smile that did not belong to anything born. The house behind her stayed closed like a mausoleum. Inside, space fractured and folded around the real Sarah. The mirrors opened like hungry mouths. A voice, everywhere and nowhere, spoke. "You took her place. Now she will take your life." Outside, the copy returned to the village. No one noticed anything strange. She hugged her mother with hands just a little too cold. Bones cracked softly. Meanwhile, the real Sarah was dragged toward a central mirror. The glass opened like skin being torn. Hands grabbed her and pulled her inside. The last thing she saw was her world shrinking like an eye closing. Then nothing. The copy sat at the table. She laughed. She spoke. She lived. And when no one was watching, she looked at her reflection in the silver spoon. The reflection didn't imitate her. It smiled before she did, with unknown eyes.